I'm still haunted by the memory of those eyes watching me through the darkness, reflecting something ancient, hungry, and patient. The silence wasn't empty. It was listening. Nightbound Bloodline presents Navajo Skinwalkers, Witches of the Southwest. Tonight, we bring you a confession torn from the edge of sanity, sent by someone who encountered what many dismiss as folklore, the creatures called Skinwalkers. This witness, who we will call David Yazzie, lived most of his life chasing rational explanations in the deserts and mesas of New Mexico, until one moonless night shattered his certainty forever. What follows is a true account of terror, transformation, and the ancient evil lurking just beyond the reach of electric light. My name's David Yazzie. I'm 38, a Navajo guide, born and raised in Shiprock, New Mexico. I've spent more nights under these stars than I care to count. People come to me for stories, ghost tales, coyote legends, old warnings. I've always shared them as fables. Truth is, I didn't believe in monsters or witches. I believed in what I could see, touch, track, and taste. Everyone's got old family stories. Mine said never go out alone after dark. Always avoid the skinwalkers. But I'm practical. I know the desert, the sounds, the patterns, the lies it tells. I've never run from shadows. Not until last spring, when I learned exactly why you ought to. It started with a radio call. Cattle missing from the outskirts of Red Mesa. Tracks cut through sand that didn't match any animal. I drove out late, armed with nothing but a flashlight, binoculars, and my own skepticism. The night was cold, dry, wind carrying the scent of sage and dust. Coyotes howled just off the road, nothing unusual. The ranch was empty. I parked, boots crunching gravel, stars blazing 100 feet overhead. The desert felt alive, every sound sharper, every silence deeper. I followed the tracks. Wide, odd, almost human, but dragging as if something heavy moved close to the ground. Half a mile in, the wind dropped out. No coyotes, no echo, just me and the scraping sound of sand against my boots. Then came a whisper, not from the wind, but drifting low, guttural, almost words. Every hair on my neck stood up. I stopped. The desert didn't. That's when I smelled it, rot and copper, like blood left too long in the sun. The air turned thick, shadows stretched long, tangling shapes that didn't belong to any bush or stone. I tried to joke to myself, just a coyote, big old trickster. But deep down, I felt the old warnings stirring in my bones. I moved forward, heart hammering, denial my only shield. But the silence pressed in, something watching, something waiting, knowing I was alone. My flashlight skittered over stones and thorn brush, jumping at every movement. That's when I saw it. A shape hunched at the edge of my beam, crouched low, too big for coyote, too wrong for human. Its silhouette wavered, limbs bent at angles that made my stomach lurch. The skin seemed mottled, patched, animal fur stitched over bare, gray flesh. It stared at me with eyes like burning embers. Not the reflection of a predator, but something intelligent, calculating, and deeply resentful. I froze. My heart wanted to run, but my legs locked in place. I counted breaths, hoping the thing would break and flee. Instead, it rose, slow and deliberate, standing upright, clothing draped in tatters, animal hide hanging from its shoulders. Its face flickered between shapes: wolf, man, deer, impossible to pin down, impossible to accept. It smiled, lips too thin, teeth too sharp, eyes glinting yellow. In voice that flickered between a growl and a dry whisper, I heard it say my name. David. Not a question, a welcome and a warning, all in one. I tried to speak, to demand what it was, where it came from, but the words died on my tongue. The air stilled. The desert felt endless, yet suffocating. It began to circle me, moving in patterns I recognized from old tribal stories, mimicking, mocking, blending human intelligence with animal threat. It tapped a stick 3 times, imitating the rhythm of my own heartbeat. I backed away, flashlight shaking, watching as its form shifted, sometimes 4-legged, sometimes 2, always shadowed, always wrong. A rush of cold swept over me, the feeling of hands brushing just out of sight. I spun, searching for others. The legends said skinwalkers never walk alone. The thing spoke again, words twisted in Navajo, an invitation to follow, to learn, to lose myself in the dark. The ground felt unstable, reality loosened, every sense tuned to terror. I ran. I wish I hadn't. The desert echoed with laughter. Animal, human, neither one nor the other. Every bush, every stone seemed alive with movement. The thing chased, not with speed but with certainty. I felt it close at my back, cold breath slipping down my neck, voice trailing through the sand. I reached my truck, hands fumbling keys, never daring to look behind me. I drove through the night, headlights stabbing at emptiness, heart pounding in time with the memory of those eyes watching me from every shadow. I didn't sleep, not that night. Every whisper of wind carried my name, tangled in ancient threat. For weeks, I wouldn't leave home after dusk. Relatives warned me, gave me protection rights, old prayers. I still haven't shaken the sense that something's waiting just beyond the light. Now, every story I was ever told feels true. The skinwalkers walk the land, and some secrets are meant only for those willing to listen and survive. David's story isn't just a warning. It's a reminder that the desert after dark has its own rules, its own guardians. The Southwest is a place where legend and reality walk side by side, where every grain of sand remembers. The skinwalkers linger in the forgotten corners, tracing the edges of what we dare to know and what we refuse to believe. Some monsters wear animal skins. Others wear our own faces, hiding in plain sight, feeding on fear, secrecy, and ancestral memory. The desert doesn't care if you believe in witches or walk alone. The danger is always listening. Sometimes it calls your name. So if you ever find yourself out past dark and feel cold breath at your back, remember there are stories older than civilization, waiting for you to look away. Do you have your own encounter with the unexplainable or the terrifying? Share your experiences below. Like and subscribe for more true accounts from Nightbound Bloodline, and help us keep the ancient stories alive and spoken. This has been Nightbound Bloodline. Thank you for listening. Until next time, sleep with one eye open.